So I got these really pretty tartan offcuts and I want to make them into a purse. So let me show you. Usually when I'm concepting a new project, I'll make a freeform board like this one. So obviously I want to make like a triangle bag, and I found a couple different patterns. And I think out of all of them, I like this one the best. So I made a little paper prototype. Basically this, you fold it in half upwards, and then you fold each little piece in, and you sew. I'm gonna sew along both of these sides just to secure it, but I'm thinking I can patchwork this, right? Can you see this? So I want to make each little triangle out of a different color, and I'm also going to make 2 of these so that there's a lining, turn it inside out, top stitch the whole thing. But I will probably make a bigger prototype, and I also want to prototype the strap out. So I'm thinking that I fasten it on one side all the way down so it's extra secure, and then make the other side adjustable either with one of these slider buckles or with these little clip and D-ring combinations, so I can use it as either a little like side tote bag or a little crossbody. So that'll be fun. Okay, I made a paper prototype with some pockets. I'll show the construction more when I do a muslin, but I'm designing it so that it fits like a crossbody, has a little out pocket and pocket, but then you can tighten it, there's like a loop, and then it can also be a shoulder bag. I think this is a good size. Maybe I'll go a little bigger. This is the original. I made it bigger. And now we're gonna do the muslin practice. Here's the fabric draft without the pockets, and I'll show you how I construct it with the final fabric. Yes, hello. Cutting the lining out first. This is a nylon ripstop so that the interior is like kind of water resistant. I had a lot of rectangular scraps of the tartan, so I've decided to use a Korean patchworking technique called jogakbo to put it together and make these like beautiful panels that'll still be the size of the pieces I need. So I'm going to use a flat felled seam to join them, and then just keep joining them like Lego blocks until they become one big piece. Here's a shot in better lighting with everything laid out, so I'm going to start sewing the pieces together. Don't step on it. I'm going to practice with this pocket first, so I'm going to join these 2 pieces with a flat felled seam, and then join this one on here, and then I'll cut it to the shape of the pocket. So I'm going to take the 2 pieces I'm joining. They're going to be like this. I'm going to offset them slightly. I'm going to fold this one over, and then I'm going to sew all the way down. Okay, I've done that. I'm going to trim that edge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to fold it towards the raw edge and then sew down here. And then I'll have a nice flat felled seam, and I'm going to keep doing this until I have a big patchwork piece. And here's the patchwork pocket piece. I also have a lining on it, so I'm going to sew that all the way around and turn it inside out. Oh, I should put right sides together, but there it is. Now that I've made that body piece, I'm going to cut it to match the lining, and then I'm going to start sewing. And I want to show how I'm pressing this because there's a lot of pressing in this project. I have a muslin in between, and I have this on a low setting because the nylon ripstop, I don't want it to melt, and I also don't want to scorch the wool. And then I'm not smooshing this around, I'm just pressing. I actually don't know if I'm doing this right, but it's working, so. So I sewed it all together, the lining to the body piece. I turned it inside out, and now I'm going to top stitch all the way around. I also sandwiched, I'll show you, the strap so that I could pull that out as well. I'm going to sew this pocket on first. So you can kind of see what's happening here. I folded the whole thing in half, so this like flips up. And then I'll be tucking these parts inwards like you saw before. I'm going to sew this pocket on first before I do all of this, and then I'll probably have to hand stitch most of this together. Then I'm going to sew down this little thing. This is around the middle bar, and this is how I'll adjust the strap, so I'll thread the strap through this. Okay, now I'm going to hand sew the bottom shut. I have the flaps kind of tucked in. I'm also going to do the sides, and then I'll turn it inside out, and I'll show you what that looks like. Now I'm going to sew down these edges on the inside as far as I can with the machine, and then I'll hand sew what I can't. This is the inside. Now all of my sides and diagonals are all sewn up, oops, except for this bottom flap with the pocket. So I'm just gonna whip stitch this all the way down to the edge, and then we're gonna turn it inside out. All done. I stitched up all the sides. This internal pocket is for my phone, so it'll sit on my shoulder like this, and then I'll slip my phone in and out of here, and then I can adjust this if I want to make it a crossbody. I think if I were to do this again, I would have sewn the entire outside first and then made a lining for it instead of sewing it all together. That would have reduced some bulk and made the lining a little bit more continuous. But otherwise, I'm very happy with this. I've never done patchwork before, so I think it turned out really cute.